There we go. Hi babies, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've had some issues. You guys know I have depression issues and they got really bad. So it's been a while since I've been making videos. The last video that I put up was actually made like in December, I think. It was made a long time ago anyway, and I finally decided to put it up because I was feeling okay enough to edit. Minty is here. She's gonna be a part of my video. But anyway, you're here to find out what Littlespace is, and that's awesome. And I'm so happy if you are maybe a little wondering about Littlespace, or if you're a daddy dom or a mommy dom or a caregiver who wants to learn more about what it's like to be in Littlespace. Whatever you're doing here, welcome. What is Littlespace? Littlespace is usually associated with DDLG, which I've talked about before when What is DDLG, the video that I just put up not too long ago. Littlespace is the headspace that a little goes into when they're feeling little. So Littlespace can range in, if you go into Littlespace, let me start this over so that you actually get the picture. Okay, if you are little, you go into Littlespace and you become kind of a certain younger age. So when I was looking this up, they said it's anywhere between 0 to 7. After that, you're middle. I'm not sure I agree with that because I think still like 8, 9, 10 years old is still pretty childish. I don't know if you would be considered really like a tween yet. So I would say no matter what your little age is, if you think you're a little, then that's valid and you're a little, even if your little age is 10. I know sometimes I go into a little age that's older. I would say probably about 7 actually, where I'm more independent but still need a caregiver. That would be my little age. From time to time, most of the time, my little age is about 2 or 3, so quite little, where I really do need the help. My kitty is distracting me. Can you see him? There he is. He's just purring away and that's all I can listen to. That's all I can hear. He's looking into the camera right now too. He's very photogenic and I don't think he realizes that he's not actually on camera right now, so he's like posing. So, Littlespace is when you go into the headspace of being someone younger than you, like a lot younger, like a child, like. When you go into Littlespace, it can be sporadic. It can be something that you can't control. I've talked to people who can't control when they go into that headspace and they have to find coping mechanisms for when they're doing like work or day-to-day life things in order to keep themselves kind of under control when they go into the headspace, because sometimes, you know, you just can't be a little. And then there's other people I know who kind of get themselves to regress, and I'm one of those people who it doesn't just happen for me. I kind of have to ease myself into it, and I think it's more of a comfort thing. It's kind of a safety thing for me. I have to feel safe and comfortable and everything in order to really get into being a little. But like I said, for other people it just happens, and that's cool too. It happens either way, that's totally valid. So when you're in Littlespace, it can be sexual or non-sexual. I'm gonna talk mostly about non-sexual because that's where my experiences are. I have experiences being a sexual little, but for the most part, and I think for a lot of people this is true too, you spend a lot of time being a non-sexual little. Being a sexual little is okay too. It just means that you're in a vulnerable headspace and your master, your dom, whoever needs to be more aware of how you're feeling, and aftercare is absolutely important for all BDSM plays, but it's even more important. I don't want to say more important. It's extremely needed when you're a little. So just ignoring it isn't okay. It's never okay. You know, just for any BDSM community, just don't forget aftercare, but use special aftercare when it comes to littles. Like, they want their stuffy, they want their passy. I'm gonna do a whole video on aftercare, so I'll just leave that for now. So when you're in Littlespace, a lot of the time you like to do little things, and that could be watching cartoons, that could be coloring, that could be playing with stuffed animals or playing with toys, that could be having naps, eating little snacks, eating or having drinks out of like bottles, using a pacifier. And the amount of time that somebody is in Littlespace, it depends entirely on the person. So if you go into Littlespace once a month, you're still a little. If you go into Littlespace once a day, more than once a day, you're very lucky. I wish I had the time to go into Littlespace more than once a day. But if you do that, you're a little. If you haven't been able to be little for a while because of life circumstances, you're still a little. It's a personality trait at the end of the day, being a little. It's not something that you can force on yourself. Like, I couldn't force myself to be little. I have always been little. I just didn't know the terminology to be able to like know what I was. So being a little, usually you have a very unique and, I don't want to say needy, but a personality where comforting and nurturing and having someone look after you is more invited than perhaps most people. What else? So it's really argued on what the meaning of being a little is. If it's part of the BDSM community, just being a little. In my opinion, it's because it's so related to DDLG, and because, well, it's not just related, because it's a part of DDLG, which is a part of the BDSM community, and the terminology comes from the BDSM community. I say that it is not for minors. It is simply for adults who regress into being children. And that is the main point of it. So definitions of what a little is are really argued on. But from my perspective, that's kind of a summary of what a little is. They're someone who they're an adult that regresses into being a child, but there's a difference between being a little and being an age regressor, because a little opens the doors for it to be possibly sexual, possibly not. An age regressor generally isn't sexual. When you're a little, there's more of a connotation that you're a little and having someone look after you. When you're an age regressor, there's more of an independence with that definition. It's not so much you're having someone look after you as you can just age regress on your own. But these are super argued. If you think that I'm wrong, go ahead and tell me in the comments. I welcome any opinion, of course. Tell me whatever you want. If you agree with my definition, then that's awesome. I'd like to hear that as well. That's about it for what a little is. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be on... What was my next video going to be on? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure when I'll post this. But, whatever. Stay tuned for my next video, when it comes, whatever it's about. And I love you, BBs. Bye!